try and ask the children. They should have this kind of open dialogue with their children. They should make it look like my child doesn't know, I know better. They should try and be open and be modern.
To be quite frank, being strict, that's just the main problem with parents. Some parents are really, really strict that they don't even give kids or their children freedom to do some things they need to do.
Well, I think it's important that the relationship between a child and a mother is strong, especially because they have very limited time, believe it or not, to actually be with you as a child. These days, children grow up very fast, and you do need to build a strong relationship with your child before they go on to be their own parents.
For me, it's going to be more of friendship relationship. We were all once teenagers, and we know it was a time of development, switching from one level to the other, and a time of trying to gain independence, exercise independence, try to show I can help myself. And a child will always be a child to the parent. It does not matter how old that child is. The rest of the world may see you as an adult, but your parents still see you as a child.
Teenagers who have respectful and consistent parents learn to communicate more effectively, feel better about themselves, and are able to have more loving relationships as they become adults.
Certainly, especially because you focus on teens. By the time they reach their puberty phase, there's a lot of hormonal change that goes on, a lot of mood swings, and then they get to be more self-confident, self-conscious, more assertive about what they want, which may be very different from what you want.
Struggle of independence, you know. The teenager wants to be independent. Look, I'm grown. Do you know I'm 18? Do you know I'm 17? I'm 16? And the parent like, hey, do you know how many years ago I passed through that?
It starts from the foundations. If you've not had a good relationship with your child from a very young age, if you haven't encouraged your child to talk to you about their daily experiences, about their friends, about their relationships, by the time they get to that teen age, you may find that they would block you out of their lives. And once they block you out, it's very hard to fit back in. It's amazing that sometimes a parent relationship could be strained just because they haven't developed it from a very young age. So it's important that from a very young age you talk to your child. I'll even say talk with your child rather than talk to your child, because when you're talking with your child, it's a two-way communication. So if you're always talking to your child, you don't get to sense what they think, how they think, and how differently you may be thinking, even though they're your children.
Know when and where to draw the line. Okay. Realize that this child is an individual, has his personality, has his own mind. It's just like the mind is still developing. Okay? And for the teenager, know that your parent is doing this one out of commitment. You are committed. He is committed to protecting you. God made him a guard and a guide over you. So he's fulfilling God's assignment. And for the parent, know that this child will not always. In fact, if your child does not begin to be independent, exercise authority, ask questions, you should know that something is wrong. Okay, all you need to do is to guide, but not to dictate.
Research shows both extremes can interfere with teens' ability to regulate emotions and form healthy relationships as adults. We've seen the reports. Parenting is not an easy job, but talking with your teenager is one of the best ways to protect them from dangers. So parents and teenagers must learn to communicate effectively. It's time to go, but I hope you've learned so much. It's still your Teenz Time segment on Saturday Treat. Over now to Onyebia.